Like Ronsona Nagan.
When I look at my kutung about ratani. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, ne. It's Falco. So, let's have it.
One pretty better, strong. On one as Falco, ne? Was a lap, then vacation in where my hair. Make look at quad biking, Hlomu nothing one. Yo, get the regular ticket for it and kill me. Yeah. I want to see Falco, eh? See Falco, okay? Mona Haraban.
Nana.
Hello everyone, welcome back to ASR, African Stories Realized. This is our weekly review of The Wife Season 3. Don't forget to like and subscribe, let's get into it. Episode 31 picks up 3 months after the events of last week, with Naledi and Sefako seemingly getting closer as their wedding approaches. Tidi is still grieving from the loss of Sillo, while the chief continues preparing Naledi to succeed him. Despite Gawe's repeated attempts to contact her, Naledi resists and seems to have formed a strong bond with Sefako. Meanwhile, at the Zulu home, the family is planning a surprise party for Double Agent X, which makes her extremely paranoid because everyone was acting weird. At Hlomu's restaurant, it seems that mqhele has driven her to drink as she develops a serious alcohol habit. Back in Rustenburg, the chief and Sefako are getting along as they go on a hunting trip after the chief questions Sefako's killer instinct and ability to protect his daughter. After some time in Rustenburg, Naledi returns to work, where she tortures Tsietsi with praise of how Sefako is a man amongst men. While she was at work, Gawe arrived to plead his case once more, but Naledi didn't want to hear it. The episode ends as Naledi orders Gawe to be escorted out by hospital security. Episode 32 picks up at the Zulu home, with Hlomu's drinking problems getting worse and mqhele beginning to notice. As Xoli's surprise party approaches, she grows increasingly paranoid. We get a first look of her mother, who calls to wish her a happy birthday and tells her to return home if things are going bad. In the funniest moment of the episode, Xoli arrives for her surprise party at Hlomu's restaurant and almost exposes herself when she pulls a gun on Sambulo in front of everyone. Most of the guests laughed it off, but Gawe seemed suspicious with her reaction. The celebrations continued, but after the party, the brothers and Xoli took a trip to Rustenburg to pull a heist on the chief. On this heist, Gawe got another chance to briefly see Naledi, while some sexual tension begins to grow between Xoli and mqhele. The team is able to break into the chief's safe to not only steal a massive diamond, but also the footage of Gawe killing Sillo, which the chief was using to blackmail him. Meanwhile, back at Hlomu's restaurant, she continues to drink and get drunk in front of her daughter. The episode ends when Hlomu gets into an accident with her daughter in the car. Episode 32 picks up in the aftermath of Hlomu's car accident. While both her and Mtania survived, the bad news is her daughter would end up in a coma. At the hospital, Gawe and Naledi reconnect, but Naledi rejects him once again, but not before Sefako sees them being flirty and later confronts Gawe with the two trading punches before being separated. Still at the hospital, Xoli gets in touch with her mother again, who reminds her of their mission to avenge the Majola brothers and make the Zulu brothers pay. Meanwhile, Hlomu is still feeling guilty for causing the car accident that put her daughter in a coma. She begs Naledi not to let mqhele find out, but unlucky for her, mqhele was eavesdropping and almost killed Hlomu in that hospital room. Xoli helped mqhele calm down and encouraged him to forgive Hlomu, but the sexual tension grows as she continues to flirt with him. Meanwhile, in Rustenburg, a tragic mining accident has occurred, and it's all because the chief disregarded warnings from his surveyors, who suggested the mine was no longer safe to work. This could also be a message from the ancestors, because the chief has disregarded tradition in his crusade to marry off Naledi and instill her as his successor. Back at the hospital, Mtanya is still in a coma, with the doctors stating they can intervene because they don't know what caused the coma. At this point, mqhele is fed up with modern medicine and seeks intervention from his traditional healer. The episode ends with a visit from the traditional healer, who reveals to him that the ancestors are not happy with their transgressions and mqhele needs to get his house in order. This was easily my favorite ending because it suggests a lot of things coming to head. Mtanya's paternity has not been resolved, but this all but confirms that Dawe is Mtanya's father, and it's something that currently needs to be faced head on because the baby's life hangs in the balance. I also want to remind you guys again that in the first season, Mandisa foreshadowed that Hlomu will never give mqhele an heir. The anxiety of Naledi finding out as well, there's a lot of potential here. Great performance by Sefako today. I think he's a great character, and I'm actually disappointed that I'm only getting to know him properly now, because he's actually a great character and a good adversary for Dawe. I'm feeling optimistic as we make the push to 60 episodes. Can't say I was too pleased with how Showmax released the episodes today, but they apologized and they made up for it, so we all good. We'll be back next week with another review, so don't forget to like and subscribe. This is ASR, for the love of African filmmaking and storytelling.